We usually think of the tech world as this brutal winner-take-all battlefield, right? Where if one company wins, another one has to lose. But today, we're going to flip that idea on its head. What if Amazon's incredible success is actually one of the best things to ever happen to its biggest rivals? It sounds crazy, but let's break down how this hidden ecosystem really works. So let's ask the big question. When a giant like Amazon expands its empire, who's actually winning? Is it just Amazon? Is it just their shareholders? Well, the answer is not what you'd expect. Yep, you heard that right. The biggest winners are often the very companies we think of as their direct competitors. We're talking Microsoft, Google, Apple, nvidia, Meta, and maybe even Tesla down the line. I know, it sounds like a paradox, but stick with me. By the end of this, you'll see just how connected this whole tech world really is. Okay, so to really get this, you have to see Amazon as a company built on two massive pillars. First, you've got infrastructure. This is Amazon Web Services, AWS, the digital backbone of the modern internet, powering everything from startups to the AI revolution. And then you've got consumption, their global storefront, the absolute frontline where people spend their money. These two pillars don't just hold up Amazon. In a way, they support the entire tech landscape. So let's dive into pillar number one, the cloud engine. As AWS gets bigger and bigger, it doesn't just suck all the air out of the room, it actually creates this rising tide that, believe it or not, lifts some other very, very big boat. Now, what's so fascinating here is just how direct this chain reaction is. Step one, to stay on top, AWS has to keep building more data centers, especially with the insane demand from AI. Step two, what's the beating heart of any AI data center? You guessed it, high-performance chips, GPUs, which leads us, inevitably, to step three. Amazon cuts these multi-billion-dollar checks to nvidia. And this quote just nails it. It's the perfect analogy. Think of it like this. Amazon is in this massive, frantic gold rush for AI dominance. But nvidia? They're not digging for gold. They're the ones selling the pickaxes and jeans to every single miner out there. The harder Amazon digs to stay ahead, the more money flows straight into NVIDIA's pockets. It's a guaranteed win for them. But it doesn't just stop with hardware. Here's the weird part. The more dominant AWS becomes, the more it triggers something called the multi-cloud effect. I mean, think about it from a big company's perspective. Do you really want to put all of your eggs in one basket? Especially when that basket is owned by Amazon. No way. It's just too risky. So here's the bottom line. Even if a company's main cloud provider is AWS, they are almost always going to use Microsoft's Azure or Google Cloud as a backup, or for certain specialized services. AWS is so huge that it basically grows the entire market pie for everyone. And when the pie gets bigger, there are bigger slices for its competitors too. This is that trickle-down effect in action. All right, on to pillar number two, the global storefront. This is where so many digital journeys end up. It's the final destination, the place where all the devices get sold and where ad campaigns prove their worth. I mean, just think about it for a second. Where do millions and millions of people go to buy their new iPhone, or their Google Pixel, or a new MacBook? For so many of us, the answer is Amazon. It's basically the world's biggest and most efficient showroom for Apple and Google. So the better Amazon's logistics get, the more phones and laptops its rivals sell. It's a direct connection. And then you've got Meta. This is just a perfect partnership. You have millions of sellers on Amazon all fighting for your attention. So how do they get an edge? How do they find customers? They run ads. And where's one of the best places to run those ads? You got it, Instagram and Facebook. So the more competitive the Amazon marketplace gets, the more ad money goes straight to Meta. It's a beautiful, symbiotic loop. Okay, let's shift gears and look ahead a little bit, because this is where things get really wild. Let's bring Tesla into the mix. This is where emerging tech like self-driving cars could make these connections even deeper. This quote just captures the whole idea perfectly. For our entire lives, time spent driving has been, well, time spent driving. But the second a car can drive itself, all of that time is suddenly unlocked. It becomes free time, time to be entertained, time to work, and yep, time to shop. And that basically transforms the car into a living room on wheels. It's not just a tool to get from point A to point B anymore. It's a whole new environment, a new platform. And we know that every new platform creates brand new ways for people to buy things. So let's just walk through a scenario. Picture this. You finish up at work, you hop into a Tesla robo-taxi. On the ride home, instead of stressing about traffic, you're chilling and you decide you want to cook tonight. So you pull up Amazon Fresh, you order a meal kit. And by the time the car pulls up to your house, the groceries are literally sitting there on your doorstep. Tesla provides the free time, and Amazon fills it instantly. So when you pull back and look at the big picture, this isn't just simple competition. It's way more complex. It's this deeply interconnected ecosystem. You could even call it a great tech symbiosis, where the growth of one giant actually helps fuel all the others. And that brings us right back to our central idea, which we can officially call the Amazon trickle-down effect. It's this core principle that when Amazon's main businesses, AWS and commerce, grow, they directly and indirectly create new revenue streams for all the other major players in tech. Okay, this table right here, this is the whole story in one shot. It ties everything we've talked about together. Just look at the pattern. Amazon takes an action in the first column, and it has a direct profitable effect for another company in the second. AWS expands, nvidia profits. The cloud market grows, Microsoft and Google get a piece of the action. More shopping on Amazon, Apple and Google sell more devices. More competition between sellers, Meta's ad business booms. And in the future, logistics could be a huge win for Tesla. See, every move Amazon makes creates a ripple that benefits someone else. And all of this leaves us with one last big question to chew on. If these titans of technology are all this deeply intertwined, this dependent on each other, can any one of them actually fail by itself anymore? Or is the whole ecosystem now just too big and too symbiotic to fall apart? It's definitely something to think about. Thanks for tuning in.